Hey everybody, so today we're going to be looking at a few of the scariest videos that are freaking skeptics out, and we're going to see if it's something we think is legit. I have Molly sitting over there. Keep in mind, I do have the fan blowing, so if you see her hair wiggling a little bit, it's probably the fan. Let's see this. Skip.
Shop in Mexico for equipment in order to 2021 he's
Okay.
been posting his experiences with the supernatural to YouTube. His latest encounter seems to be one of the most frightening to date. Mario owns a party supply shop in Mexico. For months it's been exhibiting some very unsettling and inexplicable events. Items often move without reason, strange whispers can be heard after hours, and ghostly figures have been spotted haunting the shop. Despite its cheery, bright appearance, the premises seems to have a sinister presence lurking within it. Mario has decided to set up some cameras and other equipment in order to get evidence of the shop's eerie haunting.
You see the
In this
TV?
clip, early in the evening, some strange activity begins to manifest. Watch what one of the cameras caught. Here we can already see things beginning to move as some items fall off the shelf, seemingly all on their own.
It really doesn't spook me because it's a really terrible,
Later
terrible
in the evening,
camera
as one of the
looking at.
investigators decides to get some rest on a sofa, something eerie
How
happens
come
in the background.
this is not the same camera? Same type of camera? I already mentioned that was a little too convenient. I mean, that's one of those old CRTV.
Then, around 30 seconds later, this happens. As you can see, the TV slides across the floor towards the sleeping man.
Here's my problem with that. Here we go. So if you notice right here, you see all of the grain and everything, and then you see when it was moving, there's no grain.
As you can see, the
Look,
TV
no
slides across
grain,
the floor
no
towards
grain.
the
Grain is
sleeping
gone.
man.
Grain has gone back here. Grain has gone right here. So, right there, see that?
As you can see, the TV
Okay,
slides across the floor
as this slides,
towards the sleeping man.
notice how it changes really quick, and then right there changes. Everything changes, including the background, from here. Boom. It's because it's a still picture. That grain would keep going and going and going if it was all not a still picture. And that moving across was a spliced in different video that somebody used to move it across. And then all of a sudden, now it's on.
Not long after, the man is awoken by a loud banging noise. He jumps up and grabs a flashlight. When he notes the position of the TV, he seems perplexed.
Oh, we're all perplexed.
Next, we see footage of the investigator killing some time while playing a PlayStation VR.
How come this is
As
not
his
as grainy
attention
as
is
the other one?
fixated on the screen, something truly chilling happens in the background. Watch.
Hold on, Molly just fell. How is she not? She's not fallen over completely. Just hanging here.
A small, transparent form appears near the back of the room. Only its dark, short hair is distinctly visible as it moves in rapid
Huh?
blurs along the wall, staring at the man.
What did I miss? So it's not a little boy wearing. I'll tell you right now. That's just a little boy halfway masked
When the
in like
investigator later attempts to
uh
communicate with the
After
entity,
Effects or
he hears
something.
strange sounds in response to his questions.
Si estás aquí conmigo, dame una señal, haz un...
You can probably make that even easier by the little boy was just wearing clothing that matched that color. So it could be numerous things.
Que yo agradezco mucho. ¿Eres una mujer? Sí, eres una mujer. Vuelvo a preguntar, ¿te tiene atada algo a esta? Ok, eso estuvo fuerte. El demonio que habita este lugar. Me dirijo al demonio.
A camera shows a candle being blown out in an empty room. The investigation team believes that the ghost of a child is...
Why would a candle be on in an empty room anyways? Like why would you do that? Why would you leave it? Molly keeps falling over. I have her set up in a way so she can actually sit on the edge there. She keeps falling around. Come on, Molly. Sit here and watch this with us. So, what was I saying? Oh, so there's banging and everything and clanging and banging. The thing that bothers me about that is the fact that sorry, I heard a noise. But no, the thing that bothers me is so here you have this noise is I mean, it sounded like boom, shh, like that sounded like something completely broke. Nobody's gonna check that. That was a shattering of glass. I understand if it was, but if you shatter freaking glass against the wall, I'm gonna go check it out. You know? I don't understand.
dwelling in the store. They theorize that the child's spirit has an attachment to a particular item. a piñata of the Disney princess Moana.
Vamos a ver de los otros lugares donde venía el sonido, porque venía del área de los dulces, donde está la...
For now, the ghost seems relatively harmless, but no one knows how far it'll go.
I still don't
Oh,
understand.
Struth!
It,
It's
it
nearly
it just
Halloween. If only
seems
Slaptam had some fresh merch to spring.
it just seems kind of dumb. Like the TV coming closer seems a little too like okay. So if the TV was being pushed, why in every single one of those videos with the same camera is it grainy in just that one video, but not the others? There's just some things that do not completely make sense that I really would like to know before I definitively say I believe him or not believe him. I don't know. I mean, we can ask Molly. Molly, do we believe him? Hold on, I don't think you could hear whenever I'm asking her. I I bumped it again. Hold on. 1 second. I'm an idiot. So real quick, you asked me why am I keeping Molly right there on the edge? Because this way, people have asked me to hang her up. People have asked me to do a lot of things. So this way, if anything is messing with her, if she is, I mean, you just see she's falling over very easily. Um, so there's no kind of, and this is for um, a few people on our thing. There's no such thing as a string being pulled on her, or else she's gonna fall over. There's no such thing of anything like that. So nobody's poking her with a stick or anything like that. You're gonna see she's gonna fall right over. So just keeping everything situated. It's my thumbs up. Here we go. Let's move on.
Footage comes from TikToker Paulina Lara62, who was actually Mario Lara's niece from the previous segment. The footage shows Paulina alone in the back room of the shop where the investigation of the previous segment took place. Take a look at what happened. As you can see, Paulina appears to be dragged across the room by some unseen force. One of her legs is sticking up in the air as she slides.
Why are we not saying the obvious? That's just somebody with string or something pulling her. I mean, I guess what, fishing line or something. It's a very terrible camera. Heck, it's stationary. You could digitally remove that. And why was this being filmed on a cell phone? Her just right there. Somebody filmed this on a cell phone. And look at this.
Across the room by some unseen.
Now, I'm saying, keep in mind, this is on a computer. Okay? Let's look. Look. This is a computer monitor right here. So they're watching video footage. Then somebody's videotaping on their
Force.
phone. Wonder what that is. Let's see.
appears to be dragged across the room by some
Let's
unseen
see. One more
force.
time. Let's kind of.
One of her legs is sticking up in the air as she slides.
Wait, I just noticed that. She like bumps into the camera. I'll be honest, she just bumped into the camera. Hmm. Hmm. That's not a good sign. That means the camera's mounted somewhere. It's not on the wall. So it's not necessarily like a camera that's security. That's not a security camera. That was a setup camera. Doesn't
To
really
make matters even
scream.
stranger, take a look at the wall near the doorway where the worker is dragged. This is the Moana Pinata that Mario believes is haunted. The doll's arms and legs are stretched out as if hung from a cross. The doll never moves from its spot on the wall, but that hasn't stopped viewers from speculating that the creepy doll might be to blame for the strange events in the footage. Paulina later posted a photo on her Facebook page that shows just how scary this incident was for her. Hours after her shift ended, her ankle is ringed with a dark black bruise. This is an ongoing saga that we'll definitely keep an eye on, and we'll be sure to post up.
It's a dark black bruise because somebody had a rope around your leg and pulled you. That's what happens. I mean, woo. That's a tough one.
Updates as they come to hand. In the meantime, check out Mario Lara's channel for all his previous evidence caught on camera. As always, there's links in the description box below. Not
From
many
that, did
people
you see
can
that
claim
picture in
that
the
they've had
background?
an
That was actually
actual
kind of a
alien
pretty picture.
encounter. Even fewer have abduction stories that experts believe to be credible. According to
About
the
the
Birmingham
abduction.
UFO group, this footage is one of the rare cases where they believe the victim's claims. It all started when a woman from Droitwich, England confessed to her husband that she believed she'd been abducted by aliens while sleeping. At first, he didn't believe her. He decided to
I
try and
do
put her
not
mind at
believe
ease
that I
by
was
setting
ever
up an
abducted.
infrared camera in their bedroom one
But if
night
that's all
to
that
record
takes,
them while they slept, hoping that seeing evidence of her peaceful night's rest would be enough to convince her that the extraterrestrials had been nothing but a bad dream. Unfortunately, the video shows something very different from what he expected. In the clip, we can see the couple sleeping peacefully under a white duvet. A few seconds into the footage, the duvet rises above the sleeping woman. When it falls back down, it falls all the way to the mattress. The woman appears to be gone. According to the timestamp, the footage is sped up. Approximately 12.5 minutes later, the duvet billows up into the air, even higher this time. When it falls back down, it lands on a prone body. It appears the woman is again peacefully asleep in her bed. The next morning, she once again claims to have been abducted in the night. The footage seems to confirm it. UFO investigator Dave Hodrian contacted the woman in the footage to further look into the events that were caught on camera. Hodrian sent the video off to two separate video analysis experts who were at a loss to explain what the clip showed. The woman in the footage, who wishes to remain anonymous, claims to have been abducted by aliens on two separate occasions. The first incident occurred on the 3rd of December 2010 at a
I'll throw this out. Those people seem a little, I guess you could say kind of portly, kind of a little bit heavy. And the thing is, maybe being a little bit heavy, they have created some kind of what's the best word for this? Divot, indention in the bed. So, hence why maybe she can kind of sink in, and then she's tossing and turning, and she gets back out of it. I don't know, because she doesn't really stay in the same spot that she was abducted in. She doesn't lay there again. She kind of goes to a different area. So maybe that's all that's going on.
At around 1 a.m., the woman got up to check on her daughters in bed. When she walked past a window, she noticed a strange disc-shaped object floating above the field adjacent to their home. The object began to glow and came closer to the house. At this point, the woman claims that she felt like the object was observing her and that a strange feeling of calm washed over her, and strangely, she just went back to bed. Later in the night, the woman felt like she was no longer in her own bedroom. It felt like she was naked, lying on an unfamiliar hardened surface in a darkened room. Her eldest daughter was said to be kneeling beside her. She leaned in and whispered, "Mum, it's alright, don't worry. It's your turn, Mum, don't be scared, they're not going to hurt you." Suddenly, she felt like she was floating down a tunnel.
Okay, so this is this is a cool little story. I don't really see the evidence here.
Tunnel of some kind. At this point, she was paralyzed and could only move her eyes. She could sense that there were several small beings standing around her. It felt
I
like
was going to
these
say
beings
something
were
to
able
them.
to talk directly in her mind. They reassured her that no harm would come to her. The woman recalls several invasive experiments happening to her before suddenly waking up back in her own bed. She was naked, with her nightgown strewn on the floor some distance away.
It's kind of disturbing
Finally,
already
she
that
woke
she
her
was just
husband up
naked.
to explain what had happened. The following morning, the woman felt sharp pains in her lower abdomen near her ovaries, as well as an aching finger on her left hand. In the subsequent days, the woman became anxious about sleeping. It got so bad that her husband decided to install the infrared camera in their bedroom, which brings us to the footage we just saw.
Okay, so that's why we have this.
On the night this footage was captured, the woman recalls a buzzing feeling happening in her head before being taken to a room filled with the small beings once again. One of the beings began moving its hands over and around the woman's body, but not touching her directly, keeping about an inch or two away. Again, as if by telepathy, the being communicated, reporting a series of ailments that the woman suffered from, such as a stomach ulcer in her lower abdomen. Moments later, the woman felt a familiar rushing sensation, as though floating down a tunnel or corridor. Without quite realizing it, it was the morning after. In the mirror, she noticed that she had 2 asymmetrical bruises around her lower belly. Certain that something strange had happened, the woman and her husband checked the security footage and were stunned at what they saw. The footage seemed to prove that she was abducted and removed from her bed for a period of time. This case is far grander and
Okay, hold on. She's supposed to be gone, but where's the man? Look at this. Where's the man right now? She is said to have been gone, but it looks completely flat. Where's the bulge from the guy sleeping here?
scope than what we've been able to cover here. To read Dave Hodrian's full report on the incident, I'll put a link to the Birmingham UFO Group's website in the description box below.
See, that's the thing right there. He's laying there as well. Okay?
On the incident.
He's laying right there. You can see how it kind of comes up right here and here. Hers is going up right there. So she's still laying there. She just tosses and turns a little bit.
And I'll put a link to the Birmingham UFO Group's website in the description box below.
See, right here. This is still her. She was still there. She was just laying in a different way. The guy the guy was just as disappeared as she was. That's not anything paranormal. Boom, we got that one, guys. Here we go. Let's do another one.
Strange things can happen in the dark of night, such as the bizarre events recorded and shared to TikTok by user Tracy Perez 408. The footage was recorded on an indoor security camera mounted near the ceiling of their bedroom. At the start of the video, we see a man asleep on the bed. Immediately, the footage becomes strange when something small and black seems to run across the floor and under the bed. 30 seconds later, a sinister-looking hand reaches into the room and slides down the door jamb. Not long after the hand appears, the door slowly creaks open.
¿Qué piensa de eso, Luis, usted?
After a few more seconds, an unidentified object suddenly rolls into the doorway, crashing into the foot of the bed.
Es una bola.
Things take a terrifying turn when the man in the bed begins to move.
En la casa del Carmen me asustaban más todavía. ¿Sí vio?
The man awakens in a panic and tosses a pillow at his sleeping roommate. Seconds later, something strange happens to the chair in the middle of the room.
Es una bola, yo no sé qué lanzaron. Ahí va la silla, va la silla.
With so many strange little details happening in this clip, there's been a plethora of theories suggested in the comments section. Some believe that the whole thing's a prank, perhaps orchestrated by another roommate. However, the moving chair, the creepy hand, and strange crawling black thing have left a lot of viewers on edge, suggesting that some kind of entity might be haunting this house.
En la casa del Carmen me asustaban más todavía.
So where do you sit, prank or haunting? Let me know in the comments section down below.
Ahí va la silla, va la silla.
TikToker Fernando Victoroli has uploaded some footage.
I don't know how much I believe that one. Just because, I mean, I think the thing that got me the most in that one was the fact that the guy kicking his legs, it wasn't like somebody pulled him. I mean, he literally just did this. Like that with his legs. So I sorry, an Amber Alert just showed up on my phone. I was reading it for a second. But yeah, so his legs didn't do anything. He just kind of shoved his feet up. So I don't trust that just because he kind of threw that away. You know? There's just something about that just didn't sit right with me.
That has left viewers thoroughly creeped out. The footage was recorded during a night shift at a train station. We see two railroad workers walking alongside the tracks as the TikToker walks behind them, recording the train as they walk past it. See if you can spot anything weird as they walk along.
You talk about the person in the window?
They don't seem to notice that they've caught something strange in their footage. Pay close attention to the train's windows. You may just see a creepy face staring back at you. The face, at first, is difficult to make out through the dark window. It's white with dark, sunken eyes. It appears for only a moment before the night shift worker moves on down the tracks, blissfully unaware that they're being watched by something. Obviously, it's very late at night and the train is parked at the depot, so there's no reason for anyone to be on board. Could this be a simple case of
Why did the person pan up there anyways? When when I'm walking around, if I'm looking for a ghost, I'm looking everywhere. So this seems staged because I don't understand why this person looked up towards those windows, but never looked towards another set of windows at all again. I mean, look,
pareidolia, the brain's
we look
tendency to see
now,
faces in inanimate objects?
but
Or is
then
there
why aren't we
something
looking
more
at
sinister
those?
at play here?
Why aren't we looking
Take
at
a closer
those?
look at the footage and draw your own conclusions.
Okay, so let's look at those windows. Nope. Let's look at. Nope.
Just quickly, before we take a look at our last
I mean, it's. I don't. If everything was, consistent, then I understand. But we looked up at some windows and other windows. He looked at the other doors. Why didn't you look at those windows? I mean, it doesn't mean that it was staged, but it could have been that there were people on board. There was more going on instead of just, hey, look. Like, I mean, there could be like a little party going on those trains that, they're just looking around and stuff. Who knows? So, I mean, there's so many different things. This is not necessarily a fabricated thing or like staged, but it could be just a little bit of a misidentification. Let's see.
the man in this footage from Tech World TV, you probably don't have any proof on film. The footage shows an older man walking across a busy street. Watch what happens. There appears to be a strange black mass hovering just behind him as he walks, almost as if a shadow figure is perched on his back. The man seems to take no notice of this bizarre shadow that seems to be tightly attached to him. Some viewers have suggested that the dark shadow could actually be some sort of protective spirit, as the man walks across the busy road easily without being injured by oncoming traffic. So is this just an ordinary shadow, a shadow person, or some sort of guardian angel? Let us know what you think.
It's none of that. You could see it. It doesn't follow directly with him. Oh, oh, of the camera. So obviously you can tell this was very cheesily edited on like an After Effects or something, or some kind of, you know, editing software. Somebody just cut out a dark version of the guy and had it go across. You can see hundreds and hundreds of flaws in this alone, just going across it. I mean,
Walks,
oh
almost as if
man,
a shadow figure.
let's look at that. Look, right here.
There appears to be a strange black mass hovering just
Here?
behind him as he walks.
Oh,
almost as if a
now it went
shadow
forward,
figure
now it went
is
back,
perched
now it
on
went
his
forward,
back.
forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward. It's not hovering directly above him. It's crazily going back and forth. I mean, this is just the worst tracking. If somebody was tracking things, it's terrible. Um, why anybody would believe this one, I'm completely flabbergasted. But Molly fell again. You okay, Molly? I'm just gonna let her sit. I'm pretty much done with this. This is the end of this thing. So basically, we've looked at a few of these. None of them really fully intrigued me. Uh, a couple of them were interesting. Uh, the abduction one was really intriguing until I really noticed that the bed was flat even when the guy was in there. So you could easily tell that she was in there too. And she probably just kicked up. It was just an optical illusion. Um, but it could be some kind of aliens. I believe in aliens. I think I saw a UFO when I was younger. Um, I'm not 100% sure what it was, but to me it was a UFO. It was unidentified flying and also an object. So um, I don't know. I could never explain it. So I don't know what it could have been, what it actually was, but it could have been something real, like an actual thing we have. But yeah, that just being said, I don't know if the doll was actually moving when it fell. I'll have to check back in the footage, but we'll see. Thanks, everybody.